Hey guys and gals, Pat over here, Fellsmere Fishing Headquarters, beautiful downtown Fellsmere. Got the boys with me. Hey, we're gonna shoot out a quick fishing report like we promised. We're gonna try to get a couple out per week. Got a lot of folks down here looking to get a little bit of sense of direction. And it's changing like crazy. We're back into the good right now. I mean, the weather's warm. Man, it's really warm. Not a whole lot of wind, making fishing kind of tough actually, but these guys are catching them, of course. So they're gonna share it with you. Captain Dan, what's going on, old son?
Well, the last week or so, shiners and specks. Shiners are still king. Obviously, I know the artificial bite's been good with the water warming up. I caught a few on top water last week. I was throwing a spook. I know a couple of guys have had a couple of good days, but the shiners for me has been where it's at. The speck bite for me in the last week or so has gotten really tough. Our water has gone from like 52 to like 80 degrees in a matter of a week.
Right.
And that is a huge transition, and it's hurt the speck bite. We're catching them, we're just not crushing them. So I've actually pulled off of the live bait the last week or so, and I've been doing a lot of jigging in the grass, and they're there. And you can see them on the electronics, and you can watch the fish swim up to the jig and nibble at it, or not even touch it, and then swim right back down. So I've been kind of frustrated with the speck bite over the last week or so, but now's the time to start jigging. I know we got a full moon coming up, and they're definitely, the bass are going to react to the full moon for the spawn. The specks, I'm not so sure about. We're catching them, and they got roe. The ones that we catch are definitely have roe, but I don't think that that's got more to do with the specks. I think it's really the water jumping up that 20 plus degrees in the last week is what's kind of slowed them down a little bit.
Right.
But I would start jigging for specks, honestly.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing from several of the other guys they've been catching them mainly on jigs.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, honestly.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Kevin. Superstar. What's happening? Well, you've been doing, because I know you've been catching them.
It wasn't always going to be like that.
I know you've been catching them, son.
So, first thing I want to do, I want to shout out to Sean. I had Sean yesterday for Artificial. He got his PB yesterday. Caught it on a Gambler burner crawl, flipping it in isolated reeds. The same place we've been fishing weightless and like 16th ounce Senkos, Texas rig. Catching a lot of fish like that. The bucks are super active right now. But where these bucks are, these females are showing up. They're starting to show up, and like Captain Dan said, the water's getting warm. These bigger fish are showing up, and they're showing up more frequently. They're more accessible. They're coming out of the ditches, coming out of the deeper water, sliding up on the flats, and you can catch them. You got to be patient. If you get bit, if you're fishing a reed head that's got like old reed stops under the water, and you fill them while you're pulling that bait through there, and you catch a couple of fish, put your poles down, spot lock, whatever you need to do. Make several casts in that area, because you may be off a foot and not get bit by that big female. So you have got to make several casts. Literally, I'm setting in some spots for 30 to 40 minutes, and we're fishing it. And we're fan casting, but we're picking it to pieces. And then boom, and then we'll hit a good one.
Right.
So, and there may only be one or two good ones on that flat, but you have to fish every single bit of it. Think about inches instead of feet.
Great advice.
Yeah, think about inches instead of feet. Slow down. Everybody's fishing too fast, and I watch that all the time. I see folks go down an area, and I'm like, we're going to go fish that because they blew right through it. We're going to go right behind them and catch all those fish. So, Senkos, crawl baits, flipping them in isolated reeds on flats, adjacent to deeper water. If you find that mix, you're going to get bit if you slow down. If you slow down, it will happen. Gotten several good reports today. George is in the shop today and also gave a good report on Stick Marsh. The south end bite at Stick Marsh is on right now. The reeds and the eelgrass down there is, I mean, you can catch them.
Thanks for taking everything out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michael. I apologize, man. I apologize. And also, moving baits. We've been catching them on square bill crankbaits in the grass. Hang them up in the grass and rip them out of the grass. You can get bit that way. And chatterbaits. Golden Shiner Feller, 1/2 ounce. Brett's Bluegill, 1/2 ounce. So that's how we've been catching them.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Appreciate
Sorry,
it.
Mike, I didn't.
Appreciate it, Cap.
Well, hey.
You know, you got to give me a heads up, man, because you know I'm a talker.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I was going to give a shout out to Herb and Marcus and the upper Chesapeake Bay boys that are here. They've been giving us great reports on
Yeah.
stick marsh. And that south side, you know, pretty much from the spillway, you know, down that whole farm 13 side west. And they've had some good days in there. Definitely, you know, some 5s, 6s, close to 7s. But also wanted to talk just a quick second about the water temperature that Dan touched on. Man, that is crazy, isn't it? I mean, literally, we're in low to mid 50s, and here we are a week and a half
That was quick.
later, and we just have been, you know, oh man, eventually it's going to get up to that magic 70 number, you know, and I don't know, it was at
And it kept
78.
going. Somebody told it.
It was at 70 for like 2 hours.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is a huge temperature swing
It's
in water
huge.
temperature, man. So, you know, it goofs them up when it gets real cold, but, you know, you got to question when it warms up that fast, that's got to maybe come into play a little bit. That, and the fact, guys, we've had no wind here all week. I mean, since this cold
It's been
front,
terrible
it seems
day.
blew out. I met the day with really any wind.
Yeah, we went from blasting 25 to 40
Yeah.
mile an hour wind
Yeah, with a
out of the
55
north
high.
Yeah.
with a 55 high with the water being in the 50s
floating on and
to no wind,
Right.
Yeah.
and now we're in the 70s.
Right.
So, I
Right.
mean, I'm talking 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
in the last
Long
2
day of
weeks,
Summer again.
I will say, for me, the numbers are down. We're not catching 80 fish a day, but the size is up.
Yes.
And the big girls are biting. I think everybody's getting big bites every day. You know, it's on to the clients really to get them to the boat, but we've been getting big bites
Right.
the last week.
Right.
So just keep that in mind. Slow down, and you'll catch a big one because they're biting.
They are.
pray the wind blows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pray for wind because if not, the bugs will carry you out of your boat.
Yeah, and I spoke to some guys today about blue cypress. You know, I talk to Roy Bass all the time, and he gives us an update all the time. And we fish, Maurice and I fish a tournament there, you know, the first Saturday of every month, and we had a great time weekend before last. Caught a lot of fish. Blue cypress is really fishing good, and there's a lot of good quality fish on that lake. And it's extremely beautiful. A lot of the guys from up north are here and they're asking about, well, what else is there? We've been fishing headwaters, we've been fishing stick marsh. Go to Blue Cypress.
Beautiful lake.
Beautiful lake.
Beautiful.
And the fishing is good, contrary to popular belief. I mean, it's good. We catch them.
That's where I've been spec fishing.
They're favorite ones.
Yeah,
Spec fishing,
yeah.
for sure.
Blue Cypress Lake is my favorite lake to spec fish. I just have been fishing it since I was a kid. Honestly, that's where I've been jigging for the last week and a half. Spent a lot of time over there.
Yep. Call Jim and Tammy at the Blue Cypress Cabins. Extremely affordable. Really great people. Saturday we had a tournament. Maurice and I on Garcia. George as well. Fishing was good. It was hot, no wind. It was made it tough. The conditions were tough, but the fishing was good. Everybody caught fish. Congratulations to Scott Carpenter and old Dave Austin there. They put a beating on us.
Old Scotty.
The old boys. But we had a blast. So anyway, we're gonna do it again this weekend, this Saturday at Garcia. So other than that, what else, Mikey?
I think the last thing we just want to give a shout out again to our friends over at Sebastian Fitness. I know we've had some guys come in here in the last few weeks asking, hey, where can we, go get a workout while I'm in town, etc. And we've been sending them over there. So again, appreciate everything they do and the marketing they do for us and
Good people.
to support us. So thank you very much.
All right, guys. We'll see you all in a few days. Thanks a million.